Weekend, buddy.
You too, bud.
Talk to you Monday. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Mix 1041, mixtv.tv. As we've been reporting the last several days, really since the beginning of the school year, we have now had 16 arrests for school threats in southeast Tennessee since the beginning of the school year. We had another one on Wednesday in McMinn County. Now we learned that 17 individuals face charges in the Knoxville area, and Middle Tennessee had a rash of threats yesterday. A statement was put out by the Bradley County school system, the Bradley County Sheriff's Department, and the state Homeland Security. When we received that yesterday, I said, you know what? I'd love to speak with our leaders, so we welcomed them in this morning. We have Bradley County School Director, Dr. Linda Cash, Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson, and the Safety and Security Coordinator for Bradley County Schools, Zech, Pike, a longtime friend. Good morning to all of you. How are you?
Good morning. We're doing well.
Thank you so much for coming in. Dr. Cash, I'm just going to say it as plain as I know how. What's going on here? What's happening?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to be aware of is that there are social media, I call it phishing, or promotions to try to get our teens to get involved. A lot of it is not even from around here or even from the state of Tennessee, but when those social media pieces hit, it shakes people up, including our students. So we just want to be very proactive, especially in talking to our students that, just because you see it online doesn't make it true. But the other thing is you can no longer do that. You can't even casually say, anything about that kind of violence, because we have to follow up. And even though a student may be innocent of doing that, I think we met yesterday and we need to definitely do some training with our students about other words to say, other things to handle that. But really, in talking to the parents, watch your students' social media, because if they're on it and they tag, you become a part of it. So that's our big message is we will vet it. We have great partnerships with the sheriff. We have great partnerships with Homeland Security. We're vetting everything before we take harsh actions. We need to see what is the threat and is it real or is it not. But we will follow up with students who do make that mistake, and that's my message. We're not going to let it go.
Dr. Cash, now in your statement, it's a joint statement. You single out the social media platforms of TikTok and Snapchat. Is that where the main problem is?
And I believe so, but I'm going to deflect that to these two gentlemen.
Sure.
Yep.
Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson just got a comment on what's happening here.
It really keeps you busy, and you read the comments, and are they following up? We follow up on everything that comes through. We try to see if it's credible or not and how far we need to go. General Hatchett probably said it best. I think you got his statement from yesterday. Go ahead and go into school and holler fire, and you're going to be prosecuted. Mm-hmm. So if you decide as a student, and you need the word harsh, I believe.
Right.
Let me tell you what harsh is. It equals share that post. Share that post around is where you start if it gets into local. Now, you talk about the charges in Knoxville. I think that probably stems from all the things where they were mentioned in different posts, and I think one of the high schools there was mentioned, and people started sharing. But if you share the post, you're going to be charged. Because if you go into school and you holler, there's a fire, mm-hmm. and you cause mass confusion, you're probably going to suffer the consequences. So my people, and we have the threat assessment team. We started after I took office.
Yes.
And Zach knows it. He was there. But we evaluate and look at any threat that comes through the school system. With the mental health professional, with the educators, with the DA's office, everybody sits down and evaluates the threats, whether they need to, what percentage they need to be dealt with. So it's all good.
Sorry, someone said to me yesterday, they said, all these arrests are happening, but it's continuing. And it's not deterring the threats for whatever reason.
So for whatever reason, and that's broad too, for whatever reason, because they want to cause panic, because they want to stir up, because they don't want to go to school tomorrow, for whatever reason. But I'll tell you this. I believe we have different people in schools this morning. I'm not going to broadcast. I'm going to schools today myself. But we are pretty much on top of the game here, I believe. And we have been for years, but we only get better as we go. Now, anybody can sit outside and always question, what are you doing? But I can promise you nobody's more on that than me. Because actually, me and Linda have to oversee this entire show to make sure things are going right. And we communicate, and I will compliment our people. I think we do pretty well.
Yeah, and just to follow up with the sheriff, one of the things that I want everybody to know, we don't make decisions in isolation when it comes to these pieces, and the relationship that we have is not, can I speak to, it's a phone call. Hey, Sheriff, this is what happened. I'm going to need your help. Or he'll call me. Zach is in the loop. It's very proactive. It's not reactive. And our biggest thing is our students are our most valuable piece that we work with. That we love them. We want to take care of them. We are definitely, me personally, asking parents, monitor that social media. You've got to monitor it because they are it targets our kids, and it tries to entice them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. And I'm a proponent of the parents in charge. If you need to take the phone, but we're not going to back down because we want our kids to know our job is to keep you safe and to keep everyone else safe. But we also want to take care of them and, working with them. We'll handle everything with care, but we're serious about protecting everybody.
Zach Pike, in your role as County Schools Safety and Security Director, I believe I've got, what's your official title?
Safety and Security Director.
Safety, I said it right, amazing.
Yes.
Hey, Zach, no kidding though, how do you come at this in your perspective?
Well, coming from a career of 20 plus years in law enforcement, that's immediately where my mind goes. So I know what those men and women are doing when other people don't realize what they're doing. I can tell you, starting very early yesterday, they worked and worked all day and night to make sure that these threats, because they come in two waves. You have your first initial threats that circulated maybe from Ohio or this state or wherever else. But then, you have your kids who may not be the child who wants to make a threat of violence, but they want to share something that they heard, knowing that it's probably not true. And that spreads like wildfire, and that creates more issues because those are being investigated as well. So I think it's very important that we have conversations with our children. My family is involved with this school system. I have two boys. They're both at school today. But we have to have those conversations with them, even younger, about being comfortable to report something you do believe is accurate. But at the same time, there are consequences for spreading or reporting things that are not accurate. So, and that's kind of where we are.
Zach, what do you tell parents this morning on their way? Maybe they're taking children to school right now, or their students are going in. What do you tell them? Maybe they're probably not. Maybe they are concerned. Most likely.
We are not only reactive in the school district and at the sheriff's office as well. We're not reactive. We're very proactive, and that's our job. We want to answer those questions. We want to investigate those things, but we don't want to report to parents in our community false information. So sometimes when it may seem like it takes a little longer for you to get information, it's because we want to tell you accurately what's going on without telling you false information.
I'll go back. We're joined by Dr. Linda Cash, Sheriff Steve Lawson, and Zach Pike, a very serious subject. And I'll just go back around. Sheriff Lawson, anything you want to add here before we go?
Just like Linda said, stay on top of it. Communicate with your people, like Zach said. Communicate with your family. Sit down. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Share with them what we live in a different world today. Yeah. With social media, it's so easy to put something out and people be alarmed. And we have got to get in front of that the best we can. We're always going to have it. And Zach said earlier when we came in, I don't think it's going to get any better. So we're going to deal with it. And the only thing I can say is trust us that we're doing the best we can. My people have been working for 2 days, along with Homeland Security and Zach, and making sure that we address everything that comes along the best we can. But let me tell you, if you share it, we'll be to your house.
Can I ask you a question? Because we see that there have been 16 arrests in Southeast Tennessee since the beginning of school. Again, 17 in Knoxville. Have there been any in Bradley County?
There has been over time. Not in the last. Not in. No.
No.
Okay.
Nothing has happened here yet.
I want
Nobody
to get
has
all-
actually shared it personally here yet that we know of. And
I want
if
to
it
get that
is,
on the record, yeah.
if it is, we will address it.
Yep.
But we're doing pretty good. But it's coming from outside. And Zach said Ohio. One of them did start in Ohio. You can tell if you read them exactly where they're coming from, and they may mention a school name that is the same as a school here.
Yes.
But it's
And that's happened before.
But it's
Yes.
but it's not the same school,
Yeah.
and it's not even what they're referring to. However, you can pick it up on social media and not know the difference. So we got to be on our game. We got to check everything that comes through. But let me say this, back up 1 second. The state of Tennessee has helped me a whole lot with paying for SROs because I was able to add SROs to the schools. Now you have 2 in each middle school, right? So we get better, try to get better somewhere there every year. So we got to stay with that. And if we ever get away from that, we'll be in trouble. But we got to get better as we go.
Dr. Linda Cash, you give me the final word here.
Well, the one thing I would say is we need to have very frank conversations starting with our elementary, middle, and high. We had conversations about that yesterday. We can't be afraid of saying, if you hear it, these are the actions you take. You go get an adult, you talk to someone, you don't let it go. It's the same thing that with our training with bullying. Don't be a bystander. Tell someone so that then we can get the other agencies involved to track it down and make sure that we're protecting everybody. And again, with my parents, you are our partners. Please monitor those social media, whatever the kids are using, Snapchat, TikTok. Let's monitor those and talk to them about the real reason behind that is you can't share it, but you need to report it.
It starts at home, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming in. I really appreciate it. Zach, anything you want to add here? I'll give actually you the final word. Because you know why? Because of your mother. Because Teresa, God love her, she hates me, but I'm fine with it.
That's
fine.
okay.
Yeah,
No, we just have to remain vigilant. Things that have happened over the last couple of weeks create a spark.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that spark die out. I want it to stay red hot, and us continue to be proactive every day. So.
God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So a very important interview. And again, if you missed any of this, you're just joining us, or you want to see Zach's head in the camera. I mean, whatever. That's fine. Thank you. I'll see you. See you at the ice cream place. Okay. It was a serious interview, but I mean, Zach, I mean, come on. Then Shelton wanted me to